It was not a particularly fun shoot because we were sort of quartered in these little dressing room pods around the set. And then when we spent several week or two in Salt Lake City, again, it was like we were herded into various places. Gloria Swanson was a trip. She was hysterical. My favorite story of Gloria was when we were then in New York, and Charlton Heston was leading the pack, and he would have these grand dinners where everybody was obliged to go. And, of course, he loved Gloria Swanson and all of that. And one day, her part of the shoot was over, and she was going back. So Bill Fry was the one who was on set all the time and organizing everything. And he said a couple things. He said, "I don't like actors. I like stars." I said, "Oh, why is that?" He said, "They don't ask questions." I said, "Oh, okay." And then Gloria came down, swathed in her furs and hat and everything, still playing the Sunset Boulevard character. And she said, "Now I want Mr. Fry, the producer, to have this totally given to him." And it was a beautiful box with a ribbon on it. And he is to bring it back to Los Angeles when he comes. So he came in about an hour after she'd been picked up and taken off to fly home, and he opened it, and it was her underwear that she wanted him to take back and have hand laundered. He didn't have to do it, but she didn't trust the wardrobe department. Really? It was hysterical. Karen was lovely to work with, and the other people were fun. Sid Caesar is another actor that referred to himself in the third person. So we never had a conversation, "How are you? What's happening?" He would talk to himself as Sid. He would reference Sid's having a good day. Now, I never knew if he was putting me on or not. I never met the man really who played my husband because he was on the ground and I was in the plane. But it was a long shoot. They would do the big shots, the masters, and then when they had little individual things to do, they would let us all go back to our little pods, our little dressing rooms, and read or whatever. This is before cell phones and, computers where people are just all the time. You actually had to read or play cards with another actor or do stuff, One of the premieres was in Santa Barbara. So a bunch of us were ferried up in a limo for the world premiere in California. Why? I have no idea, but I guess that was the marketing strategy. I don't know. The pilot of the small plane who had the heart attack and rammed into the big plane that caused it, Dana Andrews. Well, he was one of the 4 people in the limo going up, and he was quite a character. He talked nonstop about the old days, and it was interesting. I truthfully didn't want to do it. I had a job doing a play, and they said no. So I did it. And then Bill Fry was one of those grand characters who said, "Now I see you as a young Joan Fontaine." And I thought, oh my God, that is the kiss of death. So I went to the hairdressers in Saks Fifth Avenue and had them cut off my hair and give me a perm.
Wow.
And he about had a heart attack. Yes.
Jeez.
And my boss, Monique James, was furious, and I said, "It doesn't look bad." She said, "That's not the point."
Well,
so it was interesting. Karen was fun, and a couple of the other people were fun. One of the comedians who was in, I can't remember.
Jerry Stiller.
Jerry. What a darling man. Jerry and I went on a tour with a bunch of other actors in Salt Lake City of the Mormon Temple. And I had never really seen up close and personal the prejudice. I mean, we were constantly sent to the back of the line. So he looked at me and he said, "Let's go get a coffee." And I said, "What was that?" He said, "They don't like Jews." I said, "Really?" I had been sent, as a troublemaker, I would be sent to various places like Toronto to open MCA Canada, and Mr. Wasserman would be there, and I would be given a script, as were others, not just me. So we would be a group of maybe 4 or 5 people, and at one point I said, "Mr. Wasserman, why is this airport thing so big, so important?" He said, "Oh, that's easy." He said, "About 70% of Americans have never been in an airplane." I said, "Oh." And he said, and they've never been really spent much time in an airport. So this is novel to them. This is interesting. This is an experience, a new kind of thrill.
If you've enjoyed your journey on the TV Time Machine, please like and subscribe. We look forward to having you again on the TV Time Machine.